So recently, I was gifted this awesome 2005 Chevy Silverado pickup truck, and today I'm going to show you all of the emergency supplies I've put in it to keep myself safe if an emergency happens. Everyone has to worry about some sort of crisis happening in their lives, whether it's wildfires, earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, winter storms, dust storms, things like that. And the goal of having emergency equipment in your car is so that when those things happen, you're prepared and your life will be a lot easier. It honestly feels like I find myself in one of those situations quite often, especially being on the fire department and also living in an area where there's not much around. There's not much help if you need it. I find that people around where I live are fairly self-reliant. Working as a wildland firefighter, just last week there were 2 different occasions where I had to evacuate entire communities. And it wasn't the type of evacuation where it's like, okay, you have a day to pack your bags and get ready to go. It was the type of evacuation where you needed to leave your home within 5 minutes because the fire's coming and you don't have a lot of time. So having your car always packed with some basic life-saving supplies is honestly not a bad idea. It's pretty smart actually. And today I'm going to show you just what it is you need. It all starts off with your gas tank. After the events of 2020, it should be pretty clear why you want to have as much gas as possible in your car at all times. You never know what shortages are going to come up or how far you'll need to go before the next gas stop, so it's always smart to have your gas tank above at least half a tank. Even with fast food almost always being available, in the main compartment of my car, I keep just some water and snacks. We'll talk more about water and food later, but for this compartment, fast food is almost always available, but it's pretty expensive, so having a snack with you wherever you go on your travels is something I always like to have. In the glove box of my car, I always try and keep this box reserved for the important documents only. When an officer pulls you over, it's nice to just easily have those documents accessible to you, so that way you don't have to scramble through a bunch of papers and napkins and garbage and stuff to find them. You can just go, yes officer, I have that right here, open it up and just pull it right out. So I usually don't keep too much, or as little as possible, in the glove box. On the driver's side door, I always keep a safety vest and bear spray. I live in an area where there's a lot of bears and aggressive animals, and I'm down Forest Service back roads and stuff all the time with my job. So it's kind of nice to always have something I know I can easily use and it's right there, I can quickly pull it out and use it. And not only that, road rage incidents and angry people are all over these roads, and if someone's ever attacking my car, well, this works great on people too. And it's a lot less of a liability to have something like this versus a more dangerous weapon, in my opinion. So that's why I have bear spray. And then we have the safety vest. Now this is also really, really important. And if you ever have to get out on the side of the road or highway, you should always have a safety vest on. So I keep one right here. I can just quickly pull it out and put it on. This is something I use a lot more of as a firefighter, but as a civilian, someone could easily use this a lot too. And in fact, I think in some countries, it's required by law to carry a safety vest in your car, just because you don't want to get hit by another car if you have to get out on the highway for some reason. And it happens all the time. Looking back at the crew cab, now we're going to talk a little bit more about water. Water is something we all need, whether it's an emergency or not. And therefore, you should have a lot of drinking water readily available in your car, in my opinion. I use this stuff all the time, whether it's an emergency or not. And it's just nice to just be able to grab some and always know I have plenty extra if I need it. And 4 water bottles isn't really a lot, in my opinion. So I have 4 more on the other door right there. And the only thing stored right now in the bed of my truck is, well, you guessed it, another case of water. The human body needs a lot of water. So in my opinion, it'd be foolish not to take water with you wherever you go. And now we're going to get into some more true emergency supplies. As you can see under the seat here, I have a lot more things stored. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this red bag I have here first. In this red bag, I have just some more useful items, as well as some items to help me live out of this car for an extended period of time if I had to. It's just some simple stuff that would make my life a lot easier if I had to. Anyways, right here I just have a glow stick. A lot of things you could use it for. That's all I'm going to say. So it's just nice to have something that's useful like that. Right here, this is just some paracord. Once again, a lot of things I could use it for. That's as simple as I can put it there. If we look in this compartment right here, if I unzip it, I have a newspaper, which people might be like, what, do you want to read or something? But this is actually great tinder I could use as fuel to start a fire, a campfire if I needed to. And then I have two forms to light a fire. I have some matches and a lighter. And that would help me light a fire, stay warm, make meals, things like that if I absolutely had to on the side of the road or something, or if I was going camping and forgot matches or something like that. In this pouch, I just have a compass, lots of uses. There's road navigation as well as land navigation. And I already told you I work as a wildland firefighter, so if I ever spotted smoke on a mountain, I could use the azimuth on this compass to get pretty much exact coordinates of the fire, which is really cool. But that's just for me because I work as a wildland firefighter as well as a volunteer structural firefighter. And yep, got that. And let's go ahead and take a look at the inside. So as you can see on the inside, I have a rain jacket. It's synthetic, so it keeps the water off and it dries really easily. Just nice to have. It can also be used just as warm clothing even if it's not raining. I have just another jacket, once again, warm clothing, just in case I need it. I don't live in Washington, but it's just, you know, your Washington jacket. I can give it to someone who needs warm clothing and things like that. And I have a blanket. If you ever have to sleep overnight, you know, it's nice to have a blanket. So definitely useful there. And then I have some food. This is kind of like an emery. You can just dump some water in it, it automatically heats up and you can eat out of it. I have a tin cup. I can use it to fill up water, but the reason I wanted a tin cup is so that if I had to, I could boil water over a fire or make food over a fire since it's tin and it won't melt like plastic. So I have that in here. I have some more food. These are emeries. They're called meal ready to eats. And I use these a lot as a wildland firefighter. And it's nice because they're just packs of food that, and it's warm food too that you can heat up inside the pack here. They have like a chemical reaction thing. But basically this just has a nice meal. Well, some might not call it nice, but it has a good meal in there if I had to, if I was hungry. And then also I just have a can of chicken, good protein. You can get MREs and survival food for not that much at a lot of different places, and this is something you might not see the need for now, but if you ever have to be on the side of the road for an extended period of time and you're hungry, you'll definitely see the need for it then. So it's just nice to know that I have some meals in here for me and whoever else is with me in case we needed it. The last thing in here is I have a radio. This has a flashlight on it. It has the radio where you can listen in, hear what's going on, find a station.
So another way to translate this is...
But yeah, you can kind of tune in to different things. It's got a solar charger, which is nice. It's also got the hand crank. You can charge it up that way, and definitely a great tool to have. So if you don't have a radio like this, at least having a flashlight would be definitely something you want. And that's everything that's in this red bag right here. Let's take a look at some of the other things I have in this back seat. This right here is a first aid kit. I got a first aid kit from the store, and then I really thickened it up a lot. I'm an EMT, and I really put a lot of things in here that I can use and will help me with a lot of different emergencies, not just your basic cuts and bruises kind of a thing. I'm not going to go through every single thing I have in this kit, but it's a lot. So I can really use a lot of different things in here for not just cuts and bruises, but just a whole multitude of emergencies. And if you're not sure if you want to carry a first aid kit, it's just one of those things you really need to have in your car, because there's lots of car accidents and stuff that happens on the side of the highway, and you never really do know what you're going to roll up to or end up in yourself. And having the right supplies with you is nice. Sitting in the back, right back in here, I have a Pulaski. Having a hand tool like this is very, very useful. As a wildland firefighter, I carry this almost everywhere I go when I'm working. But even in your car, even if you're not fighting fire, this is super, super useful. Let's say your tire gets stuck in the ground, well, now you can dig yourself out. If a tree falls, and it's a smaller tree that you can easily cut with an axe, well, now you can cut yourself out. If it's really snowy and you're getting snowed in and you have nothing else, well, now you can dig yourself out. If you absolutely had to breach a car door or something to get out, well, now you got a tool that can help you do that. There's just a lot of different uses for this thing, and I definitely recommend everyone carry some sort of hand tool in your car. It doesn't have to be a Pulaski or anything like that. Even if it's just a shovel or an axe or something like that, it's definitely useful. And also notice how I have the hand tool and the fire extinguisher back there and everything kind of tucked away, normally under the seat. Well, that's just because if your car rolls over or something like that, you do not want all this stuff coming flying at you. It can be a projectile. So, just a little thing to keep in mind. Last two things on the other side of the car here. I have a fire extinguisher. Lots of fires happen, not only car fires, but things on the side of the road and whatnot, and it's just a great tool to have to help save lives if needed. And then just under it, I have this little blanket tarp thing. It's more like a beach blanket, but it's still just a nice tool to have if I have to sleep in the back of the truck or something, or whatnot, or if I want to have a little picnic or something. It's just something nice to carry that has a lot of different uses once again, and it sits nicely under the fire extinguisher just to help keep it padded. And that is that. There's obviously a lot more items that you can carry in your car, but it just comes back to how prepared do you want to be and how much space do you have. You don't want to clog up your car too much full of extra supplies. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. I hope you learned something. Definitely go check out some other videos I have. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.